how to make these square earrings. So I'm using pony beads, but those earrings are made with 11O Meiki Delica beads. Hopefully I said that right. So we're going to need 4 colors, and we are going to pick up, with our first color, we're going to pick up 4 beads and go through the first bead that we laid down. And then we're going to switch to our second color. And we're going to pick up a bead and go in between the first and the second bead of the first color that we laid down. So we're basically doing peyote here. And then we're going to pick up another bead of the color that we're using now and go through the second and the third bead. And then we're going to pick up another bead and we're going to go through the third and the fourth bead. And we're going to pick up our last bead for this round, and we're going to go through the third and the fourth bead, and we're going to step up into that first bead that we just laid down for this row. So now we're going to continue with this color that we're using now, and this is a little bit different. We're going to pick up 2 beads instead of just 1, and we're going to go through the orange beads that are sticking out. So forget about the red beads. We're going through the orange beads now. And we're just putting 2 beads in between each of those single beads. So now we're going through this bead with 2, and then we're going to pick up 2 more. I'm going to go through that orange bead that's sticking out. And the only difference is when we get to the end, we have the orange bead that's sticking out plus the new beads that we just laid down, and we have to go through both of those and step up so we can continue on to the next round. And we're switching colors. So now I'm switching to yellow, and we're back to just putting 1 single bead in between each of the beads. So it's basically like we're doing 1 and then 2 and then 1 1 and then 2 1 and then 2 1 1 2. You'll see what I mean. So we're just putting 1 bead in every single space around in between those orange beads in the previous row, and we're just doing this until we get to the last bead, and then we're going to step up into the first yellow bead that we laid down as well. And if this is confusion with me talking, just mute my voice. It's fine, because I do the same thing when I'm watching somebody on YouTube. If I can't concentrate, just mute it. It's fine. You aren't gonna hurt my feelings. I just want you to be able to make these because they're super cute. So yeah, so just go through all those beads and then until you get to the last orange bead, and then you're going to step up into the first yellow bead that we laid down. And now we're going to continue on with our yellow beads, and obviously your beads are going to be a different color unless you make the same color, which I don't care. You do you have choice of freedom with colors. So we're just going in between the yellow beads, and we're just going all the way around the yellow beads until we get to that last space. We'll go through that last bead plus the first yellow bead that we laid down to step up to move on to the next row, which will be different. And these will be our first black bead row, and then our second bead will be our joining row. The black ones will be our joining row. Sorry, I'm all over the place. I get a little bit nervous. I don't know why. It's not like you can see me, but whatever. Trying to explain this and showing you is completely different. I'm a visual learner, so I can't concentrate when I'm being talked to and shown something at the same time. So this last bead, we're going to go through our last yellow bead and step up. And now we're switching colors. So remember, our first row has 1 row of that color. Our second color has 2 rows. Our third color has 2 rows. And our fourth color has 2 rows. So I know it looks a little weird, but I promise they look like little squares. And I know we go from a square to a circle back to a square. It's a little weird. So this is where you're going to pick up 2 beads and go through a yellow. And then we're going to pick up 1 bead. So we're putting our corners back into our square and then putting 1 single bead for the sides of our square. So now we're going to pick up 2 beads. And we're just going through those yellow beads that we laid down in the previous row. Round row, whatever. I also crochet and I knit, and so when I'm doing these, I'm like, am I saying the right term? So row, round, whatever you want to call it. Whatever. So 2 beads, 1 bead, 2 bead, 1 bead. That's the sequence we're going here. Make sure you have 4 corners with 2 beads and then 4 single beads for the sides of our square. And then this next row will be a little different. Make sure you're also stepping up for that last yellow and into our first black that we laid down. So now on these corner beads, where we have 2, we're going to put down 2. And then we have 2 spots in between the single bead we laid down. So we're going to put 1 single bead. So we're going to have 2 single beads on the side. And then obviously 4 corner beads. So there's going to be 2 corner beads, a single bead, and 2 corner beads. And you're going to do that all the way around. And you're going to go into the last black bead and step up into the first black bead that we laid down. So that's what you're going to do all the way around. 2, 1, 1, 2. And then you're going to finish off and you're going to have to go down through the corners into that previous row and then go up through the next black single bead of the new row. And then we're going to put a black bead in between those 2 singles so we can join our squares. So we're going to go through there and they're all joined this way. So we're going to pick a bead and we're going to go through our 2, in between our 2 single beads. And then we're going to get our square and we're going to line them up. So we're going to choose a side. And you see there is the 2 single beads. We're going to put that connector bead in between those 2 single beads. And we're going to go into the 1 bead of our 2 singles and back down to that bead that we just put on. And then we're going to go through that other single side of bead on the separate square, on the square that we're joining now. I know it's easier to do than say, if I need to make a separate video on just joining them, I can definitely do that. Just comment down below if you have any questions. And then we're going to go back up through the other square. And, you know, it's when you're looking at them, if you've made these types of things before, like peyote or anything, you're gonna really see where you need to join them. It's gonna be kind of easy, actually. You're gonna look at it and you're just gonna see where they need to join and where you need to put your thread back through. But if I need to make a separate video on just joining the squares, that's fine. Just comment down below. For those of you that don't know peyote and don't really know how to do what I'm showing here, or if you can't really get the hang of it, it's fine. I don't mind. I'm willing to do whatever you need so you can learn how to do these. And I only did like 3 squares. I had seen a pair of like granny square inspired beaded earrings. I think it was Amazon or something. And I really liked the idea. But I didn't like the way they had their squares made. So I spent like 3 days figuring out how I wanted my squares to look and how they were coming out and stuff, because I was getting them, they were being bulky and weird. So this is the best way I've found to do them, because I'm still new, I'm still learning and stuff. So but I really like these. I think they're super cute and you can match your grandma's couch. You know, it's a little funny. So but like I said, if you have any questions or anything, you can comment down below, or you can find me on my socials. I have Instagram, on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and obviously YouTube, and it's all the same handle. So and I would really appreciate if you would subscribe and, you know, share to anybody else, that like all your little beading friends that make jewelry and stuff. And because this is cute. Like, who doesn't want to match their grandma's couch? Like, it's kind of funny saying it, but like seriously, you could just make the earrings and be like, hey grandma, look, I match your couch blanket. And just be funny. I mean, my grandma doesn't have a couch blanket. I wish she did, because I would definitely make a matching pair. Just be like, hey grandma, look at these. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and just subscribe and hit that notification bell. I can't even speak. Oh my Lord. So you get notified when I post. Thank you so much.